Glad to have you join us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. You can follow this news live on our website is nta.ng/live and all the media social handles displayed on the screen. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has enjoined Nigerians to rededicate themselves to strengthening democracy as a form of government of free people. The president, in his first Democracy Day broadcast earlier today, also urged those in elective positions to recommit themselves to selfless service to the people, delivering concrete democracy dividends. Let's get details from
to pay tribute to his role model.
For Chief MKO Abiola, the symbol of this day, in whose memory June 12 became a national holiday, democracy is eternal.
Nigeria's democracy had seen several births and deaths before its rebirth in the Fourth Republic, but for President Bola Tinubu, the sacrifices made by those he described as heroes and heroines of the famous June 12 struggle were too much to throw to the wind.
The point is that we must never take this democracy for granted. We must forever jealously guard and protect it like a precious jewel. For a people can never truly appreciate the freedom and the right democracy guarantees them until they lose it.
Reaffirming his administration's commitment to ensuring welfare of the people, which he says MKO Abiola died for, and the right dividends of democracy with right policies and programs, the president says the pains occasioned by his confirmation of the fuel subsidy removal at inauguration is only a momentary sacrifice to herald more gains of democratic governance.
I assure you that your sacrifice shall not be in vain. The government I lead will repay you through massive investment in transportation, infrastructure, education, regular power supply, healthcare, and other public utilities that will improve the quality of lives.
And then a call on Nigerians, particularly those who have benefited from the democratic process, to so guide it.
I enjoy all of us, to rededicate ourselves to strengthening this form of government of free people that has been our guiding light these past 24 years. It has become imperative to state here that unnecessary illegal orders issued to truncate or abridge democracy will no longer be tolerated. The recent harmonization of the retirement age of the judicial officers is meant to strengthen the rule of law, which is a critical pillar of democracy. The reform has just started.
The hope dashed in 1993 is now being renewed, a possible atonement for those who could not see the end of a struggle, and maybe another assurance that the labor of our heroes past would not be in vain. From the State House, Musbao, then Wahab, NTA News.
Residents within and around the nation's capital city, Abuja, are upbeat that the renewed hope mantra of the current administration is delivering the dividends of democracy. In some of the views they shared with our political correspondent Salihu Gwanara, many believe that is promising.
Nigeria's 24 years of uninterrupted democratic experience is giving hope to her citizens and friends in the continent. and across the world. Like a nation whose destiny is tied on hope, now with a document of renewed hope after Hope 93 was truncated 30 years ago, expectations among Nigerians are similar.
Look at the problem we're facing now. From where I'm coming now, it was 400 naira we are paying, down to Use Market here, but now it's 600 naira we are paying. So we are praying this government will come up with programs that will help the masses and unemployment.
Go inside the market, you see things, difficulty everywhere. Look at the young boy that's supposed to be in the school. Look at what he's doing. This young man is supposed to be in the school, and look at it. Are you happy seeing him pushing wheelbarrow? Sir, I'm asking you now, are you happy seeing this young man just pushing wheelbarrow?
A difficult question I can't provide answer for, though celebrated in a low key. To some Nigerians, June 12, 2023 is a normal day to meet end needs, while to others, it is call for duty to at least protect some critical national infrastructure.
So actually, if we look back, the annulment of June 12, 30 years ago, and especially the MK Abuja himself, his antecedent and what he wanted to see this country 30 years from now, I don't think democracy has given us up to 60% what we are expecting.
We need more from Nigerians, especially our leaders. They need to make us happy. The masses are not happy. They could be happy.
We still keep hope alive. Though if we look down to what is happening around our society today, sometimes we feel that there is not going to be any hope again. But we still keep hope alive. Seeing what is started doing already, we believe that we still have a better Nigeria.
June 12, they agreed, is a day when government and its actors should reflect on the democratic ideals that will bring the low-hanging fruits of democracy closer to the citizens. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Well, as Nigerians commemorate Democracy Day, guest on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria advocate inclusive governance towards bridging perceived gaps between the government and the governed. They note that equity and justice, as well as poverty reduction, are critical to sustaining the confidence of Nigerians in democratic values. Lydia Sampson reports.
The guests applauded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Democracy Day broadcast, especially his avowed commitment to equity and justice. They are hopeful that Nigeria's democracy, having thrived unlike some African countries, can be deepened through service delivery.
The point that the speech also underscored the importance of the notion of democracy as service, opportunity to provide service for the people to be satisfied. I think that's very, very important.
And where he emphasized the need for equity, justice, and the need for us to support social justice, in the country. And looking at where we are currently today, I believe that those are important words for Nigerians.
The recognition of June 12 as Democracy Day, they opined, should be an opportunity to draw lessons from the sacrifices of heroes of democracy, such as late MK Abiola and others.
One of the concepts of democracy is participation. Are we participating? The more we remove ourselves from the process, the more you are not going to get the quality personnel that goes into selection. Therefore, we must all begin to participate.
If our system does not give so much power to an individual to pick and choose who will represent a ward in the council, a local government as a chairman, if it is the people that are actually electing them, their loyalty would definitely be to the people.
3 decades after the June 12, 1993 elections, when Nigerians were reputedly united, the guests observed ironically that Nigeria's diversity is being negatively amplified by selfish politicians. They, however, urged the present administration to pursue equitable distribution of resources towards reducing poverty and impacting more Nigerians, irrespective of age, class, religion, and gender. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has urged Nigerians to give maximum support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his new administration. In a statement by the special advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awoni, says he had no doubt that this new government would take Nigeria to greater heights and urged the people to accord it their utmost cooperation and support. Similarly, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has congratulated Nigerians for their unwavering support for the nation's democracy as they mark this year's Democracy Day. Gbajabiamila says this year's Democracy Day is worth celebrating because it is a unique milestone in the nation's democratic journey with the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the same vein, the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, is advocating for women inclusion in leadership of the 10th National Assembly. The president of NAWOJ, Ladi Bala, stated that gender diversity in leadership will foster innovation and better governance. Similarly, the President Society for Peace Studies and Practice, Nathaniel Awuapila, on behalf of the National Working Committee, the Board of Trustees, the Central Working Committee, the Board of Fellows, and all members of the Society for Peace, Studies and Practice, felicitates with Nigerians on the anniversary of June 12, Democracy Day, while urging Nigerians to celebrate this year's Democracy Day with firm commitment to consolidate on the gains of our democracy. And still basking in the euphoria of our Democracy Day, it's time we join Michael in Lagos. Let's find out what played out in Lagos. Michael?
Thank you, Ruth. After 24 years of uninterrupted civil rule, Nigeria has made progress under the current democratic dispensation. This is coming almost after 3 decades of military intervention in politics. Correspondent examines the journey so far and some of the challenges facing the country.
The return to civil rule in 1999, Nigeria has made some progress. For instance, for the first time in its political history, the country has enjoyed uninterrupted civil rule for 24 years so far. In 2015, there was unprecedented transfer of power from a ruling political party to an opposition. Another example is electoral reforms with the signing of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill into law to facilitate the conduct of free and fair elections, including the adoption of technology in the just concluded 2023 general elections, a positive move despite associated challenges.
So we are growing in it, we are growing into maturity, and our labs is sitting down, seeing where our prospects are and our challenges. We embrace our prospects and then sit down to see how we can improve on our challenges and overcome them.
Production of technology and what have you, even though the handlers of such technology tends to do 1 or 2 things that makes a huge outcry.
Sometimes the materials don't get to site. On the morning of election, they get there very late, and it can give room for all manner of manipulations.
For the country to chart a new course into its democratic journey, analysts say the political class must imbibe the will to do the right thing.
Nigeria has enormous potentials that we stand a very good chance to harness properly and then achieve a lot more mileage. But we need to get the leadership question right.
IREV was a major factor, was a game changer in such a way that INEC eventually uploaded all the results on their portal.
Nigerians are hopeful that President Tinubu's administration will be result-oriented and interested in leaving legacies it will be remembered for. In Lagos, Hinginu John Adams, NTA News.
Nigerians have described Democracy Day, June 12, as a reminder that democratic dispensation is the only means of rapid national development. This view, they say, comes from how June 12 election laid the foundation for the sustenance of the current democratic rule being experienced in the country. This view and more were expressed to Aguele as they went around Lagos Metropolis to have a feel of the day.
Nigeria, the 163rd day of the Gregorian calendar, June 12, seems destined to be in the annals of history. Apart from it being adjudged a free and fair election, it's the first election since the 1983 coup ended the Second Republic. Setting it aside as the nation's Democracy Day from May 29 by the then head of state of the immediate past administration, President Muhammadu Buhari, on June 6, 2018, it's recognizing the historical importance of the day to the nation's democratic journey. This reflected in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech for the day.
We must never take this democracy for granted. We must forever jealously guard and protect it like a precious jewel. For a people can never truly appreciate the freedom and the right democracy guarantees them until they lose it.
It's a public holiday, and the mood in the city is that of calm, with the usual rush hour down a notch, while at the market stalls, traders conduct their business as usual. Many Nigerians believe that June 12 marks the day when Nigerians decided that it is their right to demand for democratic governance.
Since that June 12, the democratic struggle in Nigeria has changed. It gave us more focus, and we continue up to present moment. We continue to push the struggle forward. The future is very bright. The fact that since 2007, when Nigeria successfully transited from one democratic government to another, without the intervention of the military, I think that is it for us.
Others believed that the current longest democratic dispensation in the country foundation was laid by June 12. In Lagos, Lanre Bileyi, NTA News.
Those are the stories making the rounds in Lagos at this time. We'll take a break now. Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja shortly after this break. Please stay.
Subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost and the wake of dry resources. We shall instead rechannel the fund to better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of our people.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate tactic.
You know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions that.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nnamdi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
Your skill is key to your professional growth in the competitive broadcast media industry. Take advantage of the following programs specially packaged by NTA Television College Jos to upgrade your skill. Marketing in the era of digital broadcast. Date 13th June to 23rd June 2023, 2 weeks. Drama Production Workshop. Date 3rd July to 21st July 2023, 3 weeks. Intermediate Online News Reporting Skills. Date 24th July to 11th August 2023, 3 weeks. The course fee for the 2-week course is 120,000 Naira, while the fee for the 3-week course is 150,000 Naira only. Accommodation inclusive. All courses will hold at NTA Television College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For further inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. NTA Television College, Jos. Training you to be the best you want to be. Registrar Announcer.
We must all join hands to work hard so that
we build a country for our grandchildren.
My hope is that we develop as a nation where every citizen is given his due right. There is transparency, honesty, and integrity.
Put the interests of this country first and foremost. Interests of Nigeria is being one nation, one people.
The need, if I mean, to put things right, things that have gone wrong before, to try and put right, for this, for the love of country.
Good to have you there. As part of activities to commemorate the 2023 Democracy Day celebration, a parade was held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Usman Jabrila reports that President Bola Tinubu witnessed a special change of guard.
30 years now, the date, June 12, has continued to linger in the memories of Nigerians. The arrival of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu marks the beginning of the parade, with 191 personnel from the military and police. Change of presidential guard is weekly, but this is in honor of late Moshood Abiola, the assumed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, annulled by the then military government.
The President and Commander-in-Chief, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is regarded as one of the most critical persons in the struggle for the attainment of that mandate. And that is why we're very happy that today he's here as President.
The President, Abiola, is no more. We can't bring him back. And whatever we do will never bring him back to life. But we should never forget. We should be inspired by his courage. We should be inspired by his steadfast commitment. And we should be inspired by his willingness to sacrifice his life, which he has, and for which I think the country will forever be grateful.
All of the struggle, right, that make sure that we can have an enduring democracy. And we've had one now that's ongoing for like 24 years. And we're thankful that indeed there's no alternative to democracy. And we just need to continue to nurture it, continue to build on it. Whatever our differences are, let's all clean it up, because there is no better means of people representation than have, representative of people in position of governance.
Guards Brigade and cultural troops complemented the special event with displays depicting a country united in diversity. From the State House, Abdurrahman Usman Jabrila, NTA News.
And our next stop will be Kaduna, where we join Salamatu. Salamatu.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Kaduna. On this day, 12th of June 1993, Nigerians trooped out in their numbers irrespective of religion, region, or ethnic affiliations to vote for a civilian president, Moshood Kashimawo Abiola. An election believed to be the most credible was later annulled by the then military government. About 30 years down the line, this day remains symbolic for Nigerians. Let's hear more from Umar Ajingi.
It is another June 12, and the man whose name is synonymous with these days, Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, the politician who majority of Nigerians believe won the June 12 elections.
We are being told that the judiciary behaves so badly that Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, should be penalized for his conduct. It is incredible.
The memory is once again brought to Nigerians' political table as the country celebrates Democracy Day to reflect on the nation's uninterrupted democratic journey so far. With We came across some Nigerians who have witnessed the June 12 elections and the reaction after its annulment by the then military government.
They move every place is very busy, saying that you are voting for Abiola, you are voting for Abiola.
One of the diseases that we keep thanking God today is that ever since after the death thing, that democracy is ongoing in Nigeria.
Abiola is the best. He established so many things. He established companies such as Concord, so many organizations he established for Nigerians to work, and they are working.
Since the return of democracy in 1999, Nigerians have experienced successive democratic administrations, with the latest being just 3 weeks ago.
Democracy should continue. Most of the countries are practicing and enjoying democracy. Why not Nigeria? When we have all that it takes to enjoy democracy.
As Nigerians celebrate the freedom and achievements brought to them by democracy, the hope is for the political leaders to continue to provide such democratic dividends of building more infrastructures that will rapidly promote economic growth to reduce poverty and unemployment. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
The APC Voice of Progressive Youth has described President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a keeper of promises with the zeal to deliver on his mandate to Nigerians. This is evident by the policy pronouncements and achievements so far by the administration geared towards uplifting the economy. Haruna Muhammad reports that the APC youth group, speaking at a press briefing in Kaduna, also called for a progressive bent National Assembly that will translate to harmonious relationship with the executive.
President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC National Working Committee.
Acknowledging the achievement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC Progressive Youths, led by its national coordinator, Abubakar Ali Bogwe, highlighted the subsidy removal and engagement of labor unions as an act of great concern by the president. Bogwe acknowledged the strategic appointments made by the president at the executive level, adding that it is time for national reconciliation and the 10th Assembly should reflect national spread.
There is need to be tactical in sharing the 10th National Assembly leadership position for the sake of fairness, justice, inclusiveness, and national unity. Yes. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria, long live APC.
The group called for fairness to all geopolitical zones in the leadership structure of the 10th Assembly as it hoped for a working cordial relationship with the executive. In Kaduna, Haruna Muhammad, NTA News.
And that completes our package from here. From here, we'll move back to Ruth again in Abuja.
Thank you, Salamatu. Nigerians will continue to remember good legacies of the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, especially in the area of tackling insecurity in some parts of the country. Former Chief of Air Staff Sadiq Abubakar disclosed this when he visited the immediate past president in Daura. Sani Basiru reports.
The 2023 general elections was a bag of surprises, from increased party composition to high turnover. But the ruling All Progressives Congress withstood its challenges and retained majority status. The 10th Senate is made up of 59 All Progressives Congress members, 36 People's Democratic Party, Labour Party 8, the New Nigerian People's Party has 2, Social Democratic Party also produced 2. All Progressives Grand Alliance and Young Progressives Party have 1 senator each. Parliamentary resolutions, including election of presiding officers, are reached through voting. Number is the primary factor, and therefore decisions in the 10th Senate will, to a great extent, be reached through compromise and bargaining.
There will be likely going to be also coalition of these new political parties to align with one of the major political parties in the legislature.
Public proclamation of the desire to wield the gavel in the 10th Senate took off as early as February, with the Chief Whip of the Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu, former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, former Governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, former Senator and Senator-elect Osita Izunaso from Imo State, former Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, former Governor of Edo State Adams Oshomole, Chairman Senate Committee on Appropriations Jibrin Barau, Chairman Senate Committee on Senate Services Sani Musa, and Aline Dume, Chairman Senate Committee on Army. For 3 months, these heavyweights, all from the majority All Progressives Congress, dominated the dailies with their ambitions, attracting senators-elect to their folds, while still waiting for the party's pronouncement. After weeks of waiting and permutations, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress on the 8th of May 2023 made a pronouncement. It adopted Senator Godswill Akpabio from Akwa Ibom State as its candidate for the position of the President of the 10th Senate and Senator Jibrin Barau from Kano State for Deputy Senate President. That pronouncement changed the equation and further raised the stakes as some aspirants dropped out of the race, leaving just 4 out of the initial 10. Former Senator Osita Izunaso from Imo State, 2 former governors, the Chief Whip of the 9th Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu from Abia State, and Abdulaziz Yari from Zamfara State remained in the race, insisting on an open contest. The party's preferred candidates, former Governor of Akwa Ibom State and former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, was in the red chamber in the 8th Assembly as minority leader whose mantra of uncommon style of leadership will be riding on the back of party support.
Which is going behind the direction given by the party. It is my business to pacify any aggrieved member.
Orji Uzor Kalu is part of the leadership of the 9th Senate, a ranking senator from the southeast.
I'm hoping that Nigerian people will pray for me to be Senate President because it is my turn.
Abdulaziz Yari will be relying in his pedigree as a former governor and experience as a former member of the House of Representatives.
I'm trying to get the indulgence of my colleagues to trust me and hire me.
Senator Osita Izunaso's wealth of experience in the Senate and personal relationship with incoming senators will be a plus for the senator-elect from Imo State.
We are talking about justice. We are talking about equity. We are talking about oneness. We are talking about unity of this country.
Inasmuch as the support of the ruling party is significant in the election of presiding officers, the final decision takes place in the chamber, as seen during the leadership tussle in the 8th Senate, where former Governor of Kwara State, Bukola Saraki, emerged president against the decision of the ruling party. Nigerians are waiting in bated breath for Tuesday, 13th of June, for the latest installment of the gallop to the gavel in Nigeria's Senate 2023. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Okay, we apologize for the mix-up there. We called on a report by former Chief of Air Staff Sadiq Abubakar visit to immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari. We'll bring you that in subsequent bulletin. And that's report was by our correspondent, National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo, on the race, to the 10th Senate, the gallop to the gavel. And just like the Senate, the House of Representatives gears up for another election to its top chair. Now, this time, the opposition may have a huge say. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali has the figures that will lead to the emergence of the top figure among equals.
Stepping into the lobby of the House of Representatives, what readily comes to mind is how party secretariats looks like in the heat of campaign season. Displayed here are campaign posters of 10th Assembly members-elect jostling to occupy the enviable speakership position of the House of Representatives. Some staff of the National Assembly that have witnessed transition from one assembly to another from 1999 to date say it's the first time the House is recording such high number of contestants and election of presiding officers, generating much interest even outside the corridor of the Assembly. Interestingly, all those that indicated interest are members-elect on the platform of the ruling APC. Reason is not far-fetched. APC, with 175, has more members-elect for the 10th Assembly, followed by 118 of the PDP, Labour Party with 35 members, NNPP 19, APGA 5, SDP and ADC have 2 each, while YPP trails at the end of the line with just 1. Also interesting is the percentage of returning members compared to new lawmakers which is about 20% to 80%. Those contesting are from across the three geopolitical zones of the Northwest, North Central, Northeast, and of course the Southeast. Following the zoning of the positions of presiding officers for 10th Assembly by the governing APC and nomination of Tajuddin Abbas from Northwest and Benjamin Kalu from Southeast as Speaker and Deputy Speaker, quite a number of those contesting withdrew from the race. This they say was in respect of party supremacy. Among them is the House Leader of the 9th Assembly, Alhassan Ado Doguwa.
The Speaker, the National Working Committee has recommended. The Speaker, which the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has also blessed, I suppose, will be the one that is blessed and also accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is in this light that I want to urge members like me who are still in the ring contesting to please see the light of reasoning, to also step down in the interest of a seamless transition of leadership.
I will try as much as possible to sustain the modest achievements the 9th Assembly has recorded.
Joint Tax is raising a call today and saying, come, let us work together as Parliament to give to Nigeria what is the best.
Meanwhile, some are bent on their ambition. For instance, the Deputy Speaker, 9th Assembly, Ahmed Wasi, and others from his allies have not shifted ground.
Solomon Lara, who, when I was contesting in 2007, I went to him, and he prophesied the number of times I'll come to this assembly. And I will tell this crowd and to the world that he said, I will come to this assembly in the number of times and prophesies even the number of leadership I will attain and the deputy speakership, and he prophesies next when I return I will be speaker.
The stage is set for the emergence of Speaker of the 10th Assembly. Tuesday, June 13th is the inauguration day, a day a newly elected Speaker will for the first time lead the procession out from the Green Chamber as the number 4 citizen of Nigeria in the 10th Assembly. Lami Ali, NTA News.
As the clock ticks in what could be described as last-minute engagement, few hours to the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, Northern Consensus Movement, an amalgamation of 593 community-based socio-cultural and economic inclined Northern associations, have commended President Bola Tinubu for encouraging senators-elect to transparently and peacefully elect their leaders.
Or die affair. It's not by force for anybody to become a leader. Allow the senators to elect whoever that deserve to be their leader, not by indicating. We insist that we have the population, we gave the votes, we voted the president into power, and that was why he accepted to allow a level playing ground. 5.5 million votes from the north.
Abdullahi Guanara reports that the group, however, appealed for a rancor-free process on the floor of both chambers, particularly the red chambers. Let's head to Jos. Felicia is standing by with more reports. Felicia.
Thank you, Ruth. Welcome to Jos. The Plateau State Governorship Election Tribunal has concluded pre-hearing session in the petition filed by Nantawe Yilwada of the All Progressives Congress against the Independent National Electoral Commission, Governor Caleb Mutfwang, and the People's Democratic Party. Priscilla Grumnan reports that the tribunal has fixed the 26th day of June for commencement of trial.
The tribunal dismissed the motion on notice of the second respondent, which was filed out of 7 days as required by the law. However, the motion on notice filed by the petitioners to amend the list of some witnesses was partially granted, while some were dismissed by the tribunal and said it is an attempt by the petitioners to introduce new facts which cannot be allowed. After ruling on the two applications, the tribunal gave a pre-hearing report and solicited the cooperation of all the parties as they commenced trial properly. One of the motions on APC's ground to be considered was the alleged non-existing structures of the PDP and was accepted by the tribunal. The lead counsel to the petitioners, Professor Kayode Olatoke, SAN, said they needed time to enable them to tender certified true copies of the electoral materials and beavers. There was no objections from the first, second, and third respondents on the application. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
The
solemn prayer is a
to religious matters. Christians in Jos converged on Rangpam Township Stadium to pray for a peaceful Nigeria. Yildik Danladi has details.
The solemn prayer is a time for sober reflection, thanksgiving, praises, prayer and intercession for peace and progress of the state and the nation at large. Chairman Plateau State Forum of Interdenominational Prayers, Reverend Stephen Baba Panya, and the Anglican Bishop of Jos, Reverend Benjamin Kwashi, advised the people to seek for forgiveness and be united in spirit, mind, and purpose for peaceful coexistence and social-economic development of the state.
It's a time of sober reflection, a time of confessing our many sins and shortcomings to our Savior and Lord Jesus, and asking Him for forgiveness so that He will hear our cry and answer our prayer.
Undeterred resolution of like-minded leaders committed to the cause of unity. These leaders are willing to sacrifice. All they sacrifice for generations to come. They know what it takes.
Plateau State Deputy Governor Josephine Piao admonished the church to put aside denominational differences and unite to strengthen the state spiritually.
By the mercies of God, as we seek the face of the Lord in worship and prayers, the healing and deliverance of our land is guaranteed.
This is what every state of the Federation needs, because God put this nation together.
This is the second edition of the Plateau Solemn Assembly Prayers. In Jos, Yildik Danladi, NTA News.
Time now for another break. Nationwide continues shortly in Ibadan.
Our administration will govern you only on your behalf, but never rule over you. We shall consult and dialogue, but never dictate. We shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding views contrary to our own.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk.
And to watch NTA International in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, use the following satellite parameters.
You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world. For an expansive coverage of the proceedings of the 10th National Assembly, NTA, Africa's largest TV network, will be there to bring to you live happenings at the inauguration. Join us.
To Ibadan. As Nigerians commemorate 30 years of annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election won by the late Moshood Kashimawo Olawale, MKO Abiola, they urged President Bola Tinubu on implementing ideals of the election considered to be the fairest and freest in Nigeria's history. Ayomiko Ajibola has the report.
Many citizens who are old enough to remember the significance of June 12, 30 years ago, have hailed the decision of the last administration to recognize June 12, 1993 as a monument. Interestingly, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was among the leaders of NADECO and members of the old 93 campaign mantra of Abiola. On the significance of the day, those who spoke with NTA described Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the Messiah Nigerians have been clamoring for after the demise of Chief Abiola to reposition Nigeria, turn the fortunes of the country around for good.
The slogan is renewed hope, that we renew the hope that was curtailed in 1983. And we believe that this present administration will surely do that.
Petition has always been what he has always preached: good governance, rule of law, transparency, equity, fairness, and justice for majority of Nigerians.
I must say that the president has a huge burden to begin to reconcile all aspects of the country, especially with regards to religion and regards to the people, to the spread of the tribes across the country.
They are of the opinion that Nigerian Democrats have a duty to ensure the citizens enjoy dividends of democracy, good governance, and the martyrs duly recognized and celebrated. In Ibadan, Ayomiko Ajibola, NTA News.
As part of activities to commemorate June 12 in Ogun State, a special Democracy Day prayer for the repose of the soul of the late MKO Abiola held at the family compound in Abeokuta. Lekon Agbode reports.
The Ojagbo area of Abeokuta, where the family house of the great hero of democracy, late Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, is situated, played host to Muslim Umas, joined by family members and representatives of the state government, led by the Deputy Governor Noimo Salako Oyedele, for prayer for the repose of the soul of the departed hero of democracy. The Mufasir of Bagora land, Alhaji Dahoud Toriola, led the prayer session. The Deputy Governor, Noimo Salako Oyedele, enjoined the people to ensure that the vision of late MKO Abiola come to reality.
His Excellency, Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had addressed the country earlier today. He has promised us that we look forward to increased development in the country, increased investment in infrastructure, in healthcare, education, and all the amenities that will make Nigeria a much better country for all of us.
We hope that, God's willing, this government would use the opportunity, to be able to secure, opportunities for not only the Abiola family, but the generality of Nigerians.
MKO Abiola International Stadium later on, the people will gather there for other programs that have been slated for the celebration of Democracy Day in Ogun State. From Abeokuta, I am Lekon Agbode.
And that's it from Ibadan. Ruth, is back to you.
Thanks, Kemi. The Nigerian Police Force and the Initiative for Mental Health and Peace are collaborating towards ending mental health challenges. Francis Pham reports that a policy document to address this has been unveiled in Abuja.
The Mental Health and Peace Initiative and the Nigeria Police Force are raising awareness about mental health conditions, causes, symptoms, and available treatments. To achieve this, the need to dispel stigma associated with mental illness through open dialogue and compassionate conversation is a major aspect in focus.
What we have been working is to bring mental health to the surface, to people, to everyone, to know that there is something called mental health which is to be perceived as important as just a fever. As a human being, some kind of mental health knowledge is required for you to intervene with someone.
The group is also advocating policies that will prioritize mental health at local, national, and global levels. Francis from NTA News.
The federal government has alerted livestock breeders and poultry farmers on outbreak of anthrax in neighboring countries, calling for caution and vaccination of animals in states like Kebbi, Sokoto, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos. A statement by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development says Nigeria was alerted on the outbreak of the zoonotic disease in northern Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Togo, a deadly disease that has claimed lives of farmers and their livestock in the neighboring countries. The general public is therefore advised to desist from the consumption of hides, that is pomo, smoked meat and bushmeat, as they pose serious risk until the situation is brought under control. Meanwhile, the public is urged to remain calm and vigilant as the federal government has resuscitated a standing committee on the control of anthrax in the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Furthermore, relevant institutions and collaborators have been contacted with the aim of controlling the outbreak. This is in addition to the sensitization of state directors of veterinary services nationwide. Sports update will be next.
The need for Nigerians to embrace one another and live in unity has again been raised in Abuja. Stakeholders stated this during a novelty march to commemorate Nigeria's Democracy Day. Seaman Global in white jersey defeated Christ Mercy Showa by 3-2 to emerge winners.
This is one thing we are calling our leaders, because what we represent is peace. I'm an advocate of peace and we represent peace. With football, everybody becomes one.
Super Eagles camp bubbles ahead of the 2023 CAF African Nations Cup Match Day 5 qualifier game against Sierra Leone as 19 players hit the Lagos camp on Sunday night. All 4 home-based invited players, Victor Sochima and Olorunleke Ojo, as well as Rivers United's Ebube Duru and Bendel Insurance FC midfielder Divine Nwachukwu, have all joined the early birds of William Troost Ekong Ademola Lukman.
We are going to have a team that's a little bit fatigued coming in against this match with Sierra Leone, but if they can get a draw away and come home to take all the 3 points, it will be a good one.
Nigeria will trade tackles with Lone Stars of Sierra Leone in a match day 5 of the qualifier at the Samuel Kenyon Stadium in Monrovia, Liberia on Sunday 18 June, as Sierra Leone do not have any stadium in their country approved for international matches. A late Luciano Rodriguez 86-minute goal grabbed Uruguay a 1-0 victory over Italy in the Argentina 2023 final. Luciano Rodriguez returned from suspension to dramatically win Uruguay the FIFA Under-20 World Cup for the first time. And finally, former Italian Prime Minister and one-time president and owner of AC Milan, Silvio Berlusconi, is dead. The 86-year-old died at the Raphael Hospital in Milan, where he had been admitted for the past few days. The former AC Milan owner was president of Monza before his passing. Berlusconi was born in Milan, owned a team in Milan, and died in Milan. With sport update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And we're done with Nationwide. Thank you for being with us. And as we celebrate this year's Democracy Day, let's keep hope alive by believing in Nigeria. I'm Ruth Aguele. Do have a pleasant evening.